I was recently so love bombed and so severely gaslit that I have to come on TikTok and tell you guys my story because you guys, it's not safe out here.
He promised a future, talked about his child, made her playlists, called her baby, brought flowers, and a few days later disappeared like nothing ever happened. Is this intense love or emotional manipulation? Today you'll see how one woman confused connection with love bombing and how this story ends in a way that serves as a warning for anyone who still believes too much in pretty words.
I was recently so love bombed and so severely gaslit that I have to come on TikTok and tell you guys my story because you guys, it's not safe out here. I'm going to give you guys all the details. And once we get to the end, I'm not going to give you my conclusion. I would like you to make your own conclusions and your own assumptions, and maybe we can chat about it. So about a month ago, I met a guy on Hinge. That was probably my first mistake. We went out, we went and got sushi, first date. The vibes were good. Like, he was chill. He was telling me about, where he went to school, where he grew up. He's not originally from LA. So we're just, doing the back and forth, getting to know each other. We split some sushi. We had a little bit of sake. Like, the vibes were good. I also want to preface that this man is a father. I have never seen someone who has a kid before, but I was super open to it. But this is an important part of the plot, so I need you to keep that in your back pocket. So we had our first date, vibes were good. I was like, we're definitely gonna go on a second date. He gave me a little smooch by my car. I was like, okay, good energy, good vibes. This was like in the beginning of the week. Fast forward to the weekend. I went to the Rose Bowl Flea and I had the most insane meet cute with another person. And I actually made a TikTok about it, so if you want to go watch that, please do. This is an important piece of the plot, so I also need you to put this in your back pocket. It was a crazy story. I ended up making an entire TikTok about it because it was just one of those things where it's like, this only happens once in a lifetime, feels like a movie plot. I need to share it with the people. So I did. So now going back to the original guy that the story's about, we went on a second date earlier in the week. We went and grabbed food and then we went to a lookout. Date number 2, he picks me up. We go and grab food and then we go to a lookout. It was a very chill date. We had an incredible time. We were giggling, laughing, super easy to be around each other. Felt like we had known each other for a really long time. He drops me off. The date is great. He texts me the next day, good morning, blah, blah, blah. He's like, I'm definitely simping over you. I was like, honestly, feelings mutual. Like, I feel like we have a great connection, but nothing crazy. Like, we're not talking crazy. It's not escalating. So a few days later, we go on another date, and this time we're going bar hopping. So when we get to the very first bar, one conversation led to the next, and he ended up telling me that he found my Instagram and my TikTok. And when he said he found my TikTok, I just knew by his facial expression that he had seen the TikTok about the guy I had met at the flea market after our first date. We had a whole conversation around it. He was like, you don't owe me anything. We had only gone on one date at this point. He was like, I'm a big boy. I can handle it. It's not that deep. And I'm just reassuring him. I'm like, listen, that's so separate. That was just this one time. And again, like, you and I had just met and he was on the same page. He was like, it's chill, no worries. On this date, we end up going to, I think, 3 bars. We're having a great time. The music's good. We're having drinks. The drinks are flowing. Keep in mind, the drinks are flowing. So by the time we get to the last bar, it was like more dive bar, sports bar situation. We're just sitting there. He's sitting in front of me. He's like, yeah, we're going to date. And I'm thinking to myself, listen, we've been drinking all night in my head. We've been drinking all night. I don't really take what men say seriously, so I kind of just was like, okay, got it, but noted that you said something like that. And I mentioned, hey, listen, I have never been seeing anyone who has a son, and I take that very seriously, and so I would want to make sure that we, take it slow because of that. And he said something along the lines of, well, whenever you're ready to meet him, I'm ready for you to meet him too. And I'm just thinking in my head, okay, we're drunk, but noted. You know what I'm saying? Like, noted. So from this point on, the man is texting me every day, every morning, like, good morning, sunshine. He calls me baby. He came over to my house with flowers, which, again, really nice. But we were just, we were escalating. And in my head, I was like, okay, I don't feel like he's rushing or going to press a relationship. It just feels like we have such an instant connection that we're just going to let it flow. And it just feels really comfortable. But I just made sure to match his energy. Like, I'm never going to be the one starting to call someone pet names and all these things. I will just match energy. And for the most part, I never even really matched that part. He was really driving home with the baby. I can add some screenshots. I think this is maybe now our 4th or 5th date. He comes over. He's making us dinner. Unprovoked, in the kitchen. I'm sitting on the couch. He's making steaks. He goes, I deleted Hinge. I was like, what? Kind of caught off guard, but I'm like, okay, like, that's nice. And he's like, yeah, I just don't need it, and I'm having such a great time getting to know you. I was like, oh my gosh, sick. And he's like, it's okay if you didn't delete yours. And I wasn't sure if he was like poking at it. I was like, well, I haven't seen anyone or met up with anyone since we've met, but I haven't necessarily deleted it. Like, I'm not gonna lie. But keeping in mind, like, I want to take it slow, but I'm okay with how comfortable we feel with each other. So I was open to the progression that it was moving, if that makes sense. He's a music guy. So for our second date, to ask me on a second date, he actually made me a playlist with a bunch of songs that he thought I would like, which is really, really nice. But I want you to, again, keep that noted up here. So at this point, we're having dates, we're having sleepovers, we're hanging out, like making breakfast in the morning. Everything is happening mostly at my house outside of the actual dates we go on. Mostly just hangouts at my house and like overnights at my place because he was in the middle of moving. So I never actually got to see how he lives. And that for me is super important in a relationship. Like I want to see how somebody lives their life in their own environment. And I hadn't gotten there yet. So again, I'm just trying mentally taking it slow because there's a lot I don't necessarily know about him. And keeping in mind that he also has a kid, which again, I take incredibly serious. He mentions things multiple times of one, I can't wait to make you food at my new place. I would love for you to help me decorate. He was talking about upgrading his style and I was like, oh, like I can totally help you with that if you want. And so I made him a Pinterest board and was just kind of like diving into different outfits. He was sending me like outfits that he liked on Instagram and he's like, good looks, baby, like blah, 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 blah. Like we are progressing, but still it's not too much where I'm scared or anything like that. He's telling me he hasn't felt like this with someone in so long. He hasn't seriously dated anyone since he had his kid and all of his stuff. And again, just really affirming me, making semi-future plans. He was like, let's explore the west side together because we both live on like the east Los Angeles side. So I'm going to preface this next part by saying I'm a business owner. I own a health and fitness coaching business for women. I've been doing this for 4 years full time. I'm always a part of different mentorships, and I actually had an in-person mastermind that I was going to in Austin, Texas this week. So this was this past week. So I told him about it and I was like, listen, I'm gonna be gone for an entire week. And he was like, oh, am I not going to see you? I was like, I can hang out Monday night because I knew he didn't have work Tuesday. So he ended up coming over Tuesday night. We had dinner. We had a little sleepover. In the morning, we walked and got coffee, made him breakfast, like was just really good vibes overall. Very like lovey-dovey, all over each other. You get the vibes. Like, I don't need to explain it. I showed him a song that I really, really liked while I was in the kitchen cooking. I was like, I love songs like this. He was like, I got you. I'm going to make you an airport playlist with songs that are just like this that I think you'll like. So I think a part of his love language is definitely making playlists, but like he literally made me a playlist called Airport Baby for me to listen to when I went to the airport. And then he goes, do you want me to pick you up from the airport when you come home? I'm like thinking in my head, picking someone up from LAX is no easy task. You do that for people that you care about. I was like, you really don't have to do that. He was like, no, I don't mind. Like, I'll pick you up. Like, as long as I don't have my kid, which I don't think I'll have him, like, I'm good to pick you up and we can head back to my new apartment, or I can drop you up at home. Since you've been traveling, you'll probably want to sleep at home. I was like, that's so nice. Like, sure. Like, that's great. So you would think, given all of the information that you now have up until this point, that this person likes me. Like we would give it that, right? So I leave to go to the airport on Wednesday. I text him, hey, like boarding my flight, whatever. He was like, safe travels, yada, yada. I do not hear from this man for 2 days. I'm thinking about it realistically. Okay, he probably has a lot going on with the move. I'm going to text him first. No big deal. I text him first and he says the move is going well, blah, blah, blah. He's like, how's it going for you? I was like, oh my gosh, I'm having so much fun at the mastermind weekend. So glad that I came. His first response after that isn't, oh, what are you learning? Like, what are you so excited about? No, it was, who is that specimen of a man teaching your class? Because I had posted an Instagram story of my mentor. And first red flag was dinging in my head. And I was like, that used to be my fitness coach. He's now my business mentor. He transitioned to that. He was like, ain't no one girl safe around that man. No wonder he quit personal training. And as soon as he's saying all this, I'm like, red flags, red flag. Then we don't communicate for 2 more days. He texts me, hey, can't pick you up from the airport. I'm actually going to have my kid. I was like, it's fine. No problem. So now it's Tuesday. I'm back in LA. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to text him. We're going to get this figured out. I was like, hey, communication has been pretty off since you left. Like, what's good? Are you okay? Just holding some space because honestly, he could be going through something I might not know. I don't really know him that well, to be honest, you know? He was like, yeah, everything's okay. I was just messing around with my last messages. I was like, okay, whatever. He sends me another text and he's like, with the way this is going, this is definitely moving in a relationship and I really want to focus on my business right now and I've been giving up time to hang out with you in order to do that. And it's not you at all, but I really just need to pour into my business right now. And to me, I'm like, listen, I'm a business owner. If that's really what you want to do, that's totally fine. And I was super nice about it. And then I let him know too. I was like, hey, the way that you were showing up is very left field from this. Just future heads up, I probably wouldn't show up this way if you're not ready for a relationship. I gave him examples of how he said he was going to date me and all these other things. And then he goes, actually, I don't want to hear it from you. Some advice for you. I wouldn't go on a date with one guy and then meet another guy and make a TikTok about how amazing that other guy is. And then he said, well, when I said I wanted to date you, I was really fucked up. And I said I deleted Hinge because I don't need it. And making playlists for people isn't love bombing. So we went from you're great and I just need to pour into my business to absolutely gaslighting and dragging me. And honestly, for me, I'm reading all the things he's saying and I'm like, oh, I see exactly what's going on here. And now I can see that I've dodged a bullet. Just a reminder to not believe everything that men say, let them show you, and date secure men.
She calls it love bombing, but in reality, it was a fast emotional escalation filled with red flags ignored on both sides. A serious man doesn't talk about a future while drunk, doesn't bring his child into the picture, and doesn't create deep intimacy before there is real commitment. All of that already showed immaturity. But it's also impossible to ignore that she accepted the flowers, the pet names, the constant sleepovers, the couple energy, and even future plans without ever clearly defining what she truly wanted. When you allow all that without a solid foundation, you create the perfect ground for both illusion and disappointment. Trust is not built on intensity. It's built on consistency. The breakup reveals something else just as important. When the emotion fades, the accusations begin. He was wrong to belittle her, twist the story, and run from responsibility for what he helped create. But she was also wrong to romanticize the signs, to believe that playlists, baby, and airport rides equal character. In the end, this isn't just about love bombing. It's about emotional neediness, rushing, low standards, and a lack of clear boundaries. Healthy relationships don't start at full speed. They start with clarity, observation, and responsibility from both sides.